Listen, it's all about Jesus. It's all about Jesus. Now, I think it must have taken me 22 years to realize this. 22 years of being saved. I'm now in a point where I'm convinced, and I know without a shadow of a doubt, it's all about Jesus.
He is the first and the last, the beginning and the end. He's the keeper of creation and the creator of all. He's the architect of the universe and the manager of all time. He always was, always is, always will be, unmoved, unchanged, undefeated, and never undone. He was bruised but brought healing. He was pierced but eased pain. He was persecuted but brought freedom. He was dead and brings life. He is risen to bring power, and he reigns to bring peace. The world can't understand him. Armies can't defeat him. Schools can't explain him. And leaders, they can't ignore him. Herod couldn't kill him. Nero couldn't crush him. The new age cannot replace him. You remind yourself that he is light, he is love, he is longevity, and he is the Lord. He is goodness and kindness and faithfulness, and he is God. He is holy and righteous and powerful and pure. His ways are right, his word eternal, his will unchanging, and his mind is on us.
I turned toward the light, and I raised both hands, and I cried out, God, help me, help me. And I realized I was looking at none other than Jesus Christ, the Son of God. And he looked at me, and all I heard was, James, what did you do with the life my master gave you? I had no answer. But as I looked into his eyes and he smiled at me, he knew me. I saw such intense love and forgiveness for me who deserved nothing. You have to open the door of your heart to let him in, and the door of my heart has now been opened.
When you fall, he'll lift you up. When you fail, he'll forgive you. When you're weak, he's strong. When you're lost, he's your way. When you're afraid, he's your courage. When you stumble, he will steady you. When you're hurt, he's going to heal you. When you're broken, he will mend you. When you're blind, he will lead you. When you're hungry, he will feed you. When you face trials, he's with you.
He's in the room wherever I go, sometime in feeling, but always in knowing.
Many persons thought that there was no turning around for me. He could do it for you. He could turn it around. He could turn things around. There could be transformation in your life. Just as how God has done it for me, he will be able to do it for you.
I had heard from God, and God kept his promise. And he will, and he does.
Listen, I was on drugs. I was immoral. I was a bad person, and I wanted to do those things. I got saved. I didn't want to do those things anymore. He changed my want to. I wanted to do the right thing. Now, here's what I found since I've gotten saved. I found that if I put pressure on myself, I can now do the wrong thing. But I have to put pressure on myself now to do the wrong thing. No, I'm not forgiving her. No, she does this all the time. No, God, no. Boy, okay, I forgive her.
It was an exchange of identities, and it was nothing less than supernatural.
It's my default now to do the right thing.
There's a knowing about who I am as a human being I've never had.
I would say since the day I was saved, I've never felt alone. I've never felt empty. I've never felt all of that discontentment.
I feel like I'm married to a different person. I feel like my old husband is not around anymore, and I've got this new husband who's awesome.
For Greg, the truth is clear.
Every religion is man seeking God. Christianity's God seeking man.
The Lord was calling me and saying, you know, I got you. You know, you're looking for a father, and I got you. I'm your father. So it was like, for once in my life, since I was 5 years old, someone appreciated me. Someone loved me. So it was like a ton of bricks gone. It was like gone. That was the day that the process started.
He said, for I am the way, the truth, and the life. You need life? Look at Jesus. You need truth? Look at Jesus. You need to know the way? Look at Jesus.
Now, as a grandmother, she shares her story of how she survived the Holocaust, a miracle she credits to Jesus, who she met when she was just 7 years old.
He said, "Let the little children come unto me, because theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And lest ye become like little children, can you not enter the kingdom of heaven." It takes that kind of a faith. I have an awesome God. I'm not awesome, He is.
There's power in this voice, and I am terrified of this voice, but this voice is authoritative. This voice is pure. There's just something about this voice that I can't quite comprehend and understand, but I just know that it is. I know that this voice is almighty.
I wasn't seeking for God. I hated God, and God in His grace went to all these lengths to bring the gospel to me, to change my heart and break down all my defenses and make me embrace the gospel. Any person can be reached and can be converted because God breaks down our barriers.
Needless to say, that is the night that absolutely changed my life, and where I went from being an atheist to being a 100% full believer in Jesus Christ.
I did not believe that I was worthy of His love, because I always felt like I was never going to measure up to what I thought the Lord wanted from me. So when I felt His emotion, I felt how He felt about me, I wasn't just loved by Him, but He was in love with me. But then realizing this is how He feels about His creation, whether they know Him yet or not. This is how He feels.
There's never a risk. He promises to never leave me or forsake me.
When I face persecution, He shields me. When I face problems, He will comfort me. When I face loss, He will provide for me. And when we face death, He will carry us all home to meet Him. He is everything for everybody, everywhere, every time, and in every way. He is your God, and that is who you belong to.
I want to be a picture of hope for anybody, especially those involved in crimes and ex-convicts and the hurting, the manipulated, those coming out of drugs. Because I want them to have the same thing I got. I want to show them Jesus.
When you're focused on Jesus, focus on the King of the Kingdom, your life will never be the same again.
I heard God saying, I was there always with you in all of it. I was right by your side. Matter of fact, I sustained you for a day such as this. By the end of it, I was on the floor in a pool of tears, body surfing on those tears all the way to the feet of Jesus. And I've never turned back.